across Tasmania. This is Win News.
Tonight, a person in custody over Friday's fatal crash in the northwest. A mighty visitor strengthens our Antarctic ties with the US. And we take a special look back at the highs and lows of 2023. Good evening and welcome to Win News. I'm Lincoln Humphreys. Also tonight, concerns raised over the state's recent lack of population growth and the hurricanes preparing for a big bash scorcher. After days of searching for a driver who allegedly fled the scene of a fatal crash in the state's northwest, it appears police have made a breakthrough. Late this afternoon, they confirmed a person is in custody in relation to the Yolla smash, which claimed the life of a Malaysian tourist.
4 days of searching for a man who allegedly fled the scene of a crash on the Murchison Highway at Yolla that left a motorcyclist dead and 2 others injured.
He fled on foot. As a result of that, police conducted a fairly significant search throughout the day without success.
Putting the call out early this afternoon, urging the public to come forward with any information.
And the driver of the second vehicle involved, which we now know to be a stolen motor vehicle. He fled the scene shortly after the crash, and police are still looking for that man.
Police issuing a blunt warning to the driver in question.
We will find out who you are, and we'll be knocking on your door and we'll be chasing you until we find you.
Then, just hours later, a breakthrough. Police revealing a person is in custody, but no charges have been laid at this stage. The investigation into the crash continuing.
There could be quite serious charges coming, and that's why a person has died, and that's why we're treating it so seriously, and that's why we're committing such significant resources.
Tilly Hannon, Win News.
The opposition believes there are some ominous signs for Tasmania's economy. Seizing on the latest figures from the ABS, Dean Winters says we've now recorded 5 consecutive quarters of net interstate migration loss.
The latest population figures are the worst since the 90s for Tasmania. What we're seeing is a plane load of Tasmanians every 4 days actually leaving the state.
You can't just take 1 year out of a decade and think the sky's falling in. It's just not how it works. We've had incredibly strong growth over the last decade. In fact, from 2017 to 2021, we had record growth here in Tasmania.
Tasmania's unemployment rate is currently just above the national average at 4.1%. More than 13,000 megalitres of reliable water is now up for grabs in the state's northeast, with the Rockcliffe government announcing round 2 of water sales from the Tamar irrigation scheme.
The water isn't always where we need it to be, which is where as irrigation comes in.
High surety water is the backbone to many of our agricultural activities, and it is the thing that allows people to go and invest and continue to grow the agricultural sector in the state. The
first sales process didn't meet the threshold to succeed, so farmers from Beaconsfield to Lagana are being encouraged to register their interest.
Without the water through this valley, we are not able to do what you can see behind us.
We know that if we want to reach our agricultural target to grow the Tasmanian farm rate of agriculture to $10 billion by 2050, we need to get water and high surety water to our farmers.
To apply for the scheme, you can head to the Tasmania Irrigation website. One of the world's most powerful icebreakers is getting ready for the final leg of its journey to Antarctica ahead of a summer of hard work. The Polar Star is stocking up in Hobart, further strengthening the scientific bond between Australia and the United States.
Travelling across the high seas from Washington, the world's most powerful non-nuclear icebreaker Polar Star has one final stop before reaching the end of the world.
Well, they call it a gateway city for a reason, right? It's a wonderful stop. It's pretty close to Antarctica, especially where we go into the Ross Sea. And the hospitality is wonderful, and it's a great logistics stop for us as well.
The ship packs 75,000 horsepower and is shaped like a rugby ball for braking efficiency, with 2 inches of thick steel in the front front of the hull.
We'll pick our way through the sea ice and get to the fast ice and basically carve a trail out for them so the container ship and fuel ships can get in there and resupply.
The Polar Star will spend around 2 months in Antarctica, providing support to the National Science Foundation's US Antarctic program. They will be based at McMurdo Station. The captain highlighting the strong ties between the US and Australia.
It is a very close relationship. We love the partnership we have with Australia and with Tasmania, and we hope everybody works together in Antarctica to make it a peaceful and productive scientific operations down there.
Before setting sail on Wednesday, the crew of about 160 had been busy giving school tours and stretching their legs in Hobart, taking in the local sights and sounds.
We've also been out to the museum across the bay and where all the kangaroos and everything is out north. Yes. We've been to the zoo out there.
Hayden Corns, Win News.
Still to come on Win News, we take a special look back at the people, stories and moments that shaped Tasmania in 2023.
It's a game of strategy, nerve and unpredictability.
Tom Woodbridge pushes Australia's most addictive game show over the edge.
One counter for a shot at $40,000.
The more you risk,
2 counters, $20,000. I'll also throw in a holiday.
the more you win.
If you don't get that jackpot, you'll leave here with nothing.
New Tipping Point Australia coming in 2024 on 9.
You know what's new with Kinder Surprise? It's the new Natoons Animal Collection. Scan your kid's toy and bring it to life in the Play-Doh app. Go ahead and roll on the floor with him. Good job. Kinder Surprise Natoons. Learn about animals with your kids.
With 2 motors, 1 petrol and 1 electric, you can drive every day on electric using petrol for longer trips. The MG HS Plus EV, the easy way to EV.
At Woolworths, we can help you spend less today with great weekly specials like Energizer Max AA16 packs or AAA 14 packs, now $13.75. Save $13.75. That's the price. That's today's fresh food people.
Same route, my friend
Upgrading.
scored 6.
This certified pre-owned Toyota comes with a full service history too.
Oh. There are so many reasons to choose Toyota, like certified pre-owned vehicles.
Toyota.
Introducing PillowPad Foldaway, the multi-angled soft tablet stand that lets you view any device or book hands-free and comfortably. There's built-in storage, and when you're done, it folds away. Buy now at these leading retailers, also available at Global Shop Direct.
Celebrate Christmas with internationally acclaimed The 10 Tenors. Bring your family and sing along with all your Christmas favourites, including White Christmas, Sleigh Ride, Feliz Navidad and many more. The 10 Tenors Family Christmas. Rest Point Entertainment Centre, Saturday, December 23rd. Book now at Ticketmaster.
You're watching Channel 9 across regional Australia on the Win Network.
It's been a year headlined by political upheaval and unprecedented scrutiny of past failings. But while Tasmanians have endured tragedy and heartbreak, there's also been incredible triumph, both at home and on the world stage. As we enter the final weeks of 2023, our reporter Sophie Currell takes a look back at the highs and lows of the year that was.
As the post-COVID era dawned, the arrival of a new year was celebrated. So too, a long-held dream. Tasmanians achieving a goal decades in the making.
A 19th club.
But that would kick off heated debate, a community divided over the umpire's call on a stadium, prompting 2 backbenchers to embrace independence, throwing the government into chaos.
I cannot just
stand back quietly.
There was yet more turmoil to come.
This morning I met with the Attorney-General Elise Archer MP. I requested and received her resignation from Cabinet.
Change to on the other side of the House, Labor turning its back on a former leader as an outspoken MP went in search of greener pastures.
Cassie O'Connor's 8-year reign as Tasmanian Greens leader officially coming to an end.
Today I've written to Her Excellency the Governor to tender my resignation as the Greens member for Clark.
There was also upheaval in local government, one mayor calling it quits, another council suspended. The horrors of war reverberated around the world, and back home the horrors of the past were laid bare.
It was very difficult to hear.
The Commission of Inquiry's long anticipated findings revealed, with hope failings will never be repeated.
This really is a watershed in Tasmanian history, that we can look back on this in 100 years and say this is where it changed.
Scrutiny on our hospitals ramped up.
She would want her death to be at the least a catalyst for some change.
A closure sparking a poor prognosis. Shocking allegations destabilised the racing industry.
It's a really tough day for the whole industry.
As staff and horses were caught up in a shocking crash.
At this stage, it appears probably a fatigue would have been involved.
There was yet more devastation on the roads, Tasmanians losing their lives both at home and interstate.
Obviously, it's a traumatic event for all the family, all the friends, from what was a wedding where people come from wide and far.
A police officer facing court over the deaths of a mother and son, and a Supreme Court judge finding himself on the other side of the law. A prison escapee sentenced over a crime spree, another escaped prisoner found dead. Murder charges too over a woman hit by a car. There were historic drug busts.
This would have caused immeasurable harm to the Tasmanian community.
And the biggest search operation in northern Tasmanian history ended in tragedy, sending shockwaves through the community.
It's the outcome no one wanted to imagine.
Wish we had a happy ending to it, but no, it's just 14-year-old, what a waste.
Some of the missing remain lost, but one was found years after he vanished.
We have located his vehicle with his remains inside.
Police reopening other cold cases in the ongoing search for answers.
We've released those recreated images, reconstructed images, to try and jog people's memory.
And closure for a family with a couple jailed 14 years on from a brutal killing.
I said years back, hearing the word guilty, better than winning lotto. Yep. It is to me.
Charges were laid over the Hillcrest tragedy as an inquest stalled, another getting the go-ahead after unprecedented intervention.
That was my ultimate goal. I want the truth.
Coroners handing down damning findings into the deaths of a paramedic and police officers. An independent inquiry launched into the force's handling of allegations involving one of its own.
There will be no protecting the institution.
Mother Nature her fury, and the state's bushfire season arrived early, cutting off the east coast.
It was really close. We were quite lucky to get out of there.
And later, destroying homes.
Unfortunately, yes, we have lost 2 houses and 1 shed and 1 vehicle.
We've farewelled a football favourite, a proud monarchist and historian, the Premier's father, and an inspirational mum.
She's just a beacon of a light for us.
A campaign hit the ground in Tasmania ahead of a historic vote.
3, 2, 1, go!
Getting a different answer than was hoped. A controversial statue came down.
It's a very important moment for local reconciliation.
As interest rates went up, cost of living taking a toll.
It's going to be the point where I will be living in my car with my children, hungry and homeless.
The salmon industry hit troubled waters as the fight to save a species skated new depths.
This lack of oxygen in the bay is literally starving this species, suffocating this species to extinction.
The Jack Jumpers courted controversy over jersey design. The state was caught up in cyber hacks and witnessed a heated clash. A wind farm development breathed new life. A power play took on different energy. Transport woes rolled on, bus services grinding to a halt and workers striking out.
I missed the bus, and another one missed, and another one missed, and another one missed the bus.
2 Tasmanian railways went off track, the community getting on board the recovery. And there was yet more traffic chaos while a long-awaited project hit the road.
It's happening, this is real.
Police tackled crime through a new lens as the end of an era led to radio silence.
This is Alpha 1, calling off this network for the final time on behalf of Tasmania Police.
A new era too for Tasmania's sporting teams as some fan favourites pulled up stumps and a new TSL champion was crowned. Another club's path to premiership glory kicking off in Tasmania. Future stars tasted draft success. Our Tassie Tigers went back to back and a swimming sensation again made a splash.
Ariane Timbers has pulled away and completely dominated for gold in world record time.
As Tasmanians united to cheer on our World Cup heroes. Organisers put the brakes on target with the lights set to dim on a popular winter festival.
In 2024, we will take a pause for Dark Mofo.
But Tasmania's popular offerings shone bright. Events run and won for decades, a prestigious school steeped in history and charity icons, all marking major milestones.
Happy birthday, stay chatty.
We met a little girl donated life.
Let it go. Let it go!
And watched wishes come true.
She's been so happy. It's really been, it's been perfect.
There were high-profile retirements, incredible discoveries were navigated. And a very special ship returned from the journey of a lifetime.
But I'm really glad I had the opportunity.
Tasmanians now setting sail for a new year. Sophie Coral, Win News.
Incredible work from Sophie and the team putting that all together, doing a very big year justice. Time for your sports news up next as the Hurricanes fly out to Perth to take on the Scorchers, and also tonight the nervous wait almost over for Tassie's best young female footballers.
Get into Anaconda and save big this Christmas on the Fuel 10.2 metre inflatable stand-up paddleboard. Save $300. We Love Summer Adventure Beach Wagon, now $99.99. Play more and pay less this Christmas with our 10% price beat guarantee. Anaconda!
It's Sunday every day at Macca's with our velvety, rich chocolate soft serve. Value means more this summer with our new loose change menu.
Hey, Dave.
Oh, hey.
Are you and Jax doing the walk this weekend?
Oh, sounds great, but my legs are aching. You even kept me up last night.
Well, remember my leg pain? I use Revitive.
The drug-free solution. Revitive Circulation Booster relieves leg aches and pains, swelling and cramps.
And it's endorsed by the Australian Physiotherapy Association.
Coming through.
Oh, someone got Revitive. Keep active with Revitive.
Get the perfect gift with Revitive.
Bang, bang on my drum, my tribe's everywhere. Call us what you want, we don't care. Living my best life, living my best life. Do what I feel like, living my best life.
Ah! Pew, pew, pew. Ah!
Everything!
Where are we going to get the money?
You need Wallet Wizard. Fast and easy cash loans. walletwizard.com.au.
If you're a pickled onion lover and one that wants true blue, why not try Blue Banner pickles, grown in Tassie just for you. No matter when you eat Blue Banner onions, bite them and you'll hear them crunch.
This program brought to you by The Good Guys. Hurry, don't miss these deals. Only at The Good Guys.
Cricket first tonight, and the Hobart Hurricanes have flown out to Perth ahead of Wednesday night's Big Bash clash against the Scorchers at Optus Stadium. With more than a week between matches, the squad made use of its downtime ahead of a hectic month-and-a-half-long campaign.
Given they're only one match into a 10-game stint in purple, Hurricanes players probably weren't quite due for a break, but they've used it wisely.
I got to spend time with family. My sister was playing the next day here in Blunston, so got back down here and watched her. And yeah, it's been really good actually. I've been able to iron out a few things from that first game with a week of training, which has been really helpful.
Kiwi Corey Anderson now resides in the US, so made the most of being next door to his homeland.
Got the chance to go back to New Zealand for a handful of days in between this sort of big break that we've had as well. So, yeah, nice to see family.
The all-rounder was drafted by the Hurricanes out of America's new Major League competition.
Wadey, being a teammate over there, probably put in a little bit of a good word for me and probably fought that fight for me, so that was handy.
This is Anderson's first time competing in the BBL.
I've had the opportunity a few times, but because of scheduling in New Zealand, it's always few and far between and never quite eventuated. So to finally be able to get the chance to come here and play is awesome. It's just taken me to move to the other side of the world to end up coming back.
In his first match in purple, he provided 17 runs with the bat and had bowling figures of 2 for 10 from his 3.3 overs.
When Riley went down, I sort of thought I might have a roll with the ball. I didn't think I'd quite be doing that.
Dooley is looking forward to the bounce the Optus Stadium pitch is set to provide he and fellow spinner Peter Hatzeglu when they take on Perth this Wednesday night.
There's a lot on offer for the spinners by the looks of things, so super excited. And yeah, it's a different place to play there than it is in Blunston with the large square boundaries and short straights. So yeah, super excited to get into it and get in the contest.
The match against the Scorchers begins at 7:15 Tasmanian time.
They've got a lot of talent, a lot of sort of diversity in their bowling attack and with their batters, and they've sort of just got that culture at the moment, and they've got that belief coming off a lot of success in the last couple of years.
Brent Costello, Win News.
Just guides it past that slip.
The nervous wait for Tasmania's best emerging footballers is almost over, with the 2023 AFLW draft set to get underway in Melbourne. Despite missing the past season with a knee injury, Glenorchy's Brooke Barwick is set to be one of the first names called, with Magpies teammate Georgia Clark also expected to find her way onto a list. Other players in the mix to be selected are Jasmine Thompson and Tanisha Kikoke. The draft begins at 7 o'clock. Tasmania has slipped to 4th place on the NBL ladder after back-to-back losses against Perth and Sydney over the weekend. The Jack Jumpers went down to the Wildcats by a point on Friday night before being upstaged by the Kings by 8 at MyState Bank Arena yesterday afternoon.
They just played better than us. That's really the bottom line. They just played better from us throughout the entire game and executed what they wanted to get done, and we just were not with it across the board in some areas. And just got beat. I mean, that's really as easy as you can say it.
The Jack Jumpers' next match is against Illawarra in Wollongong on Saturday night before their home Christmas Day clash against South East Melbourne. Meanwhile, in a coup for Hobart, former Chicago NBA stars Scottie Pippen and Luke Longley and Horace Grant will be guest speakers at an event at MyState Bank Arena early next year as part of their No Bull tour. Tickets for the one-off show on February 23 go on sale next week. Finally, in sport, high temperatures and humidity in New South Wales has made it too difficult to give an accurate long-range weather forecast for this year's Sydney-Hobart yacht race. The Bureau of Meteorology expects the fleet of 107 yachts will have a better picture of what its journey south will look like by this weekend. Currently, it's expected there'll be some rain and a light southwesterly wind for the start of the race on Sydney Harbour at 1 o'clock Boxing Day. That is your night in sport. Time for the weather details up next.
This is the very limit of where life can exist.
The incredible fight for life in Earth's greatest extremes.
Most extreme way to survive. It's the equivalent of a human climbing up a skyscraper.
Witness survival on a razor's edge.
This is Planet Earth as you may never see it again.
New Planet Earth 3, tonight 7:30 on 9 and 9 Now.
There is still magic wherever
wherever you are. Cherish those golden to us this Christmas. Fragrant hazelnuts, smooth velvety chocolate. Say it with gold. Ferrero Rocher.
Get into Anaconda for insane Christmas deals on camping gear. Save $250 on the Austral Genesis 2 9-person tent and save $400 on the June Ball Drive 45-litre fridge freezer plus receive a bonus cover. Play more and pay less this Christmas with our 10% price beat guarantee. Anaconda!
Get together with Hungry Jack's Mega Feast Bundle with Poppin' Chicken. Get 4 drinks, chips and sauce, 2 Whopper cheese, 2 cheeseburgers, 2 chicken royales and 20 Poppin' Chicken for just $39.95 at Hungry Jack's.
One pharmacy group has voluntarily passed on the full $1 prescription discount to all eligible patients on all concessional scripts.
And we will continue to stand by our commitment to make healthcare more affordable for all Australians. So every Australian pensioner, veteran or concession card holder saves $1 off their prescription. That's added up to an incredible $100 million. Chemist Warehouse, always here for you.
Discounting prescriptions in every store, every day.
Like humans, animals too need a home. Submerged structures provide fish with shelter, a habitat for their families. There's a little something for everyone at Big W this Christmas.
This report brought to you by Harvey Norman for everything you need: furniture, bedding, electrical and technology.
Welcome back to Win News. Time for a look at your weather details. We had a partly cloudy start to the week for Tasmania with some strong winds pushing about in some areas. Devonport was a couple of degrees cooler than expected, and St Helens saw some fresh winds pushing about, peaking at 35 kilometres per hour. Queenstown recorded just 3 millimetres of rain in the gauge today, with more possible tonight. The capital hit its forecast high just before 3 o'clock, 22 the max there for Hobart, 14 overnight, as it was in Swansea. Just not quite as warm today for Swansea, maxing out at 21 as it did in Huonville. On the charts, a trough moved over Tasmania today, which will be followed by a cold front expected tomorrow morning, with a southwesterly flow developing in the afternoon. After that cold front coming through tomorrow morning, we'll see a high in the west extending a ridge over our state on Wednesday. On our waters, at all points of the compass up north, winds to 30 knots. A strong wind warning has been issued, and a wind warning is also in place for the east, with seas up to 2.5 metres. In the south, the swells are getting up to 3 metres, and also in the west, those swells getting up to 3 metres, and the winds expected up to 20 knots. Looking at your Tuesday forecast now, showers possible, expected to ease late in the day. Wynyard's headed for 20 for the top, touch warmer for Devonport and warmer again for Scottsdale, heading for 22. As we track south, just 17 the top for Hobart and Huonville. For the days ahead for Burnie, mostly sunny, temperatures warming slightly through the week, headed for a top of 20 next Monday. For Launceston, Wednesday will be mostly sunny, similar conditions to follow for Thursday and Friday, staying in the 20s right throughout the weekend next week. For Hobart, a possible shower on Wednesday with conditions clearing later this week. We've got temperatures peaking at 22 coming up for Saturday. That is a wrap of your weather details, and that is it for the Bulletin this evening. Thank you very much for your company. I hope you're keeping well, and I hope you can stay up to date with your local breaking news with us. We're back on your telly tomorrow night right throughout the week. Hope you can join us. In the meantime, you can always stay up to date with local breaking news online all the time. We're right across the socials these days. Check us out, give us a like and a follow, and if there's something happening in your community we should be covering, you can let us know on there. Have a great evening. Good night.
has been a Win News presentation. Win News, regional Australia's #1 news source.
Tonight, a horror start to the festive season on the roads. A driver killed in a fiery smash with a truck near Bendigo. A woman stabbed to death at Canberra Zoo, a male co-worker in custody. Pro-Palestine activists hauled away after blockading Port Melbourne streets during the morning rush. Mass evacuations underway as far north Queensland cops a year's worth of rain in just a few days. Marvel Stadium to host the Matildas' final Olympic qualifier against Uzbekistan, and Bulldog star Bailey